Vote for Kamala Harris. And it's actually non-negotiable. Our rights are on the line, folks. Our reproductive rights. Come on. Go vote blue. And if you disagree with this sentiment, just hit the unfollow button. I don't need your business. Thanks.
I don't need your business. Oh, sweetheart, we heard you loud and clear. Maybe if her eyes weren't so far apart, then maybe she could actually see the truth that no one likes her movie. Probably Snow Brown and the 7 liberals were the only person that liked it. We should rename this movie Snow Woke and the 7 pronouns. Like, don't you guys ever learn? Disney, go woke, end up broke. Disney actively sought out this activist to represent them. I'm so glad they're sharing this failure together. You know, I paid nothing to watch this trailer, and I already want my money back. Now, before we begin this video, can we get the choir to sing for us?
This trailer makes me want to sit on the TV and look at my cow. Coming to a theater near you, me, is that a threat? They should have made Rachel CGI instead. Ron Brown and the 7 Discord bots. The CGI looks much better when I turn my monitor off. Disney invites you and I must politely decline. I'm rooting for the poison apple, wise Lord Farquaad playing Snow White. This movie should come with a disclaimer. No dwarfs were harmed, but your childhood might be. I haven't seen something self-implode this hard since that Titan submarine.
This Snow White press tour has got to be the worst marketing I've ever seen for a movie. I mean, the new Snow White actress is literally walking around interview to interview just bashing Snow White.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird. So we didn't do that this time.
Just sit around and say, yeah, we grew up watching this movie called Snow White, and all of a sudden you show up and we have to eliminate all the memories of these young girls who grew up wanting to have an experience like that?
Hey, if I'm gonna stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
Look at her eyes. Tristan, we could park our jet in between those eyes.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who has the most googly eyes of all?
With those googly eyes, you know, Snow White can cast for Sid from the Ice Age.
I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. Reality is that the cartoon was made 85 years ago. It's extremely dated when it comes to the ideas of women being in roles of power. She's not going to be safe with a prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
Doesn't this just seem like such a fun movie? That actress is so smug and this movie's gonna flop.
She just destroyed her whole entire career without even noticing. She is living proof that beauty is only skin deep. She absolutely ruined Girls with Wide Eyes for me. Disney had a better chance of casting her in the live-action Quasimodo remake.
He needs some milk.
And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Why is she upset? She said she didn't need our business. We listened. Call it Snow Woke and the 7 ticket sales. If this movie was shown on a plane, I would still walk out. It's absolutely poetic. Disney began its movie career with Snow White, and now they're ending with Snow White.
Disney's new Snow White hit, the headlines for getting rid of 7 dwarfs and replacing them with average-sized magical creatures. Piers and his guest at the time weren't happy.
Behind-the-scenes pictures from Disney's live-action remake of Snow White were leaked this weekend, and there appears to be a sizable problem. Where are the dwarfs?
These are roles made for actors of my stature. I can't go out for the Harrison Ford or the George Clooney roles because that's not for me.
Right.
And now it's taken away. I don't feel that's right.
This movie should not be named Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It should be called Snow Woke and the Seven Oppressors.
Well, there has been inevitable backlash online, fans accusing Disney of inserting unnecessary feminism into classic fairy tales. Joining me now to debate this is the host of Tommy Lahren is Fearless on Outkick, Tommy Lahren. Hi, Tommy. And from New York, the brand marketing and consumer expert and founder-in-chief soothsayer from Sooth, Ian Bear. Once again, great to see you both. Tommy, come on, give us your take on this. Disney just messing with the classics?
Yeah, they certainly are. Now listen, if Disney wants to make more woke films that tank at the box office, they are more than welcome to do that, but maybe think of an original idea. Maybe not destroy a classic from my childhood and put an actress in there that not only hates the plot and the storyline of the movie she's in, but also seemingly hates Snow White, the character herself. I mean, that's one interview clip that you read the quote from, but she's gone on to talk about this film numerous times, how she once thought Snow White was creepy, she doesn't like the prince.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There is a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Yeah. Weird. So we didn't do that this time. Really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut, who knows?
She talks exactly like an activist, not an entertainer. Calling the prince a stalker for searching for his princess is like calling Santa a home intruder, a pedo for delivering presents to people on Christmas. It's blasphemy. She's too ugly to be that narcissistic. I thought Snow White was supposed to be pretty, kind, and feminine. How on earth do we end up with this? Oh, you guys thought that choir was done. Guys, we want an encore.
And the German Nazi cultural appropriation. Snow White in the 7 CGI abomination, making the dwarfs look like a PS1 hack. Rick was a bold choice. Rachel Zegler looks like a medieval squire boy. Marvel's lost 237. And the seats are empty in cinema hall. Of the biggest Disney. It's okay, Disney.
She doesn't like the prince. She thinks she should get paid more because she has to wear that dress. She should get paid for streaming for every hour she has to wear the dress. I mean, talk about biting the hand that feeds you. Not only are you being casted in a classic film to remake it, but you don't seemingly like your own character. So she comes off as an insufferable, whiny brat. And that's why people are so annoyed. Beyond just them inserting feminism, I think we expect that at this point. But why do you have to mess with a classic, especially with someone who doesn't even seem to like her own character?
Now here's Rachel Zegler's apology video, and she doesn't even seem sorry at all. She definitely gives off Amber Heard vibes.
I never want it to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have. I can also be having the greatest time and simultaneously wishing people would stop sending me death threats.
Right. Every time that a celebrity gets like one DM that says KYS, they're like, I'm getting death threats. Someone save me, but not a prince. Don't
anybody but a prince.
Don't you dare save me.
She like when somebody, she's like, I'm getting these death threats, and the cops were like, well, save yourself. Like,
yeah, you're a girl
I saw
boss,
that.
aren't you?
I saw that interview.
Rachel Zegler is the perfect representation of the many people in this new generation because they will find any possible reason to criticize, complain, and act tough. But they can't take criticism and they cry. Sounds like a damn feminist.
Okay, interesting. I hear your take on her and the interviews she's giving and the type of sort of the way she's coming across. But you say that you're kind of used to feminism being inserted into Disney movies now. Ian, it's a smart marketing move, isn't it?
Well, any move's a smart marketing move if it resonates with the people who are putting revenue against your product. Look, the reality is Disney has been doing very inclusive casting for decades now. Go back to the 1980s, and that's really when they turned the corner, and that formula of damsels in distress got replaced with these more heroic feminine characters, beginning with Ariel back then, but certainly all the Disney princesses ever since have really been triumphant females. So it's not a shock to see Disney pivot from 19th century German source material
right.
to something that they believe is going to resonate with the audience. Of course, people will vote with their wallets.
Disney must have forgotten that it's the families that take their children to go see Disney movies, not smug teenagers. Now, if you reverse the roles, if this was a white male actor who behaved like this, you better best believe that his head will be on a stick, he will be canceled, executed, and exiled immediately.
Tommy, 19th century German source material. Can you really blame Disney for wanting to court a modern audience? Gen Z and younger, these girls, they think differently, they act differently, they have different aspirations in life.
Yeah, it's okay to modernize things, but if you have such an issue with the original fairy tale and the original storyline, maybe instead of remaking it, you just make a different movie. I don't think that's too much to ask for. But furthermore, listen, you can have female characters that are empowered, that do great things, that are heroines. I mean, that's fantastic. I don't think anybody has an issue with it. But you don't have to disparage men in the process. You don't have to call Prince Charming a stalker. You don't have to say that you could just eliminate him from the whole movie. I mean, there is a space where you can have strong females and strong males. It's called the real world, or, at least some places it still exists. Maybe only here in Nashville, Tennessee and others. But it's okay to do both. And you don't have to make men seem emasculated and puny to make women seem strong. And you don't have to eliminate them altogether, as this actress has actually suggested.
If I'm going to stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
Ma'am, it is not like you are Tom Cruise risking your life with every film doing these stunts. It is not like you are Stallone doing Rambo. It's not like you are Jim Caviezel on The Passion of Christ and had your shoulder dislocated and lightning strike you and almost died. I agree people should be paid for their work, and I'm not trying to dunk on the residual structure, but if you're trying to inspire sympathy from millions of people who have to go out there every day and grind on their feet, not doing luxurious things like being in a princess dress, some people working double shifts and etc. It's just not going to happen. I mean, I'd be more concerned whether or not people want to see your film at all, especially with you ragging on the original story. Like, you guys stand on the shoulders of giants and then you just take a dump on them. Disney has lost a lot of money on films that have bombed, and Disney Plus isn't making money.
She reeks and screams entitlement. Rachel looks like the type of girl that would say, Thor has too much toxic masculinity because his biceps is the size of my head. She complains about pay when she literally stands there in a dress and gets paid millions. While many of us, we are in the trenches, working in the mines, in the freezing and cold. Rachel is the embodiment of children are to be seen, not to be heard.
I get stopped for photos every time I'm online for the Snow White ride, and it is I have to pretend like, oh God, well, crazy that we're in front of this.
Wait, how long?
It's like I'm standing there waiting for the photo op, being like,
well, you kind of are,
No, I guess
like
so.
if Harrison Ford.
I'm Snow White!
Is that your favorite ride? I mean, that's a weird thing that you are Snow White now.
I mean, It's one of the original. I'm a really big Disney fan. I grew up at the Disney parks. My parents took me every summer.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's like, it's a part of my upbringing. It's my favorite thing. So it's just one of those things that comes with the territory.
Well, then if you love it, don't let them scare you.
I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. Like, I'm being so serious. I watched it once and then I went on the ride in Disney World, which was called Snow White's Scary Adventures. doesn't sound like something a little kid would like. Was terrified of it. Never revisited Snow White again. So I watched it for the first time in probably 16, 17 years when I was doing this film. I'm a narcissist.
Can you guys imagine just throwing away your career because you just couldn't shut up? And remember, freedom of speech does not equal freedom from consequences. Now may we get the choir to come sing for us again?
It's Hollywood, baby. Weird. Weird.
I think a happy ending would be achieved. The apple in the movie fades to black. Even Microsoft is rooting for this Apple cancel due to premium, so I can't enjoy the ads. Not even Oppenheimer could make such a bomb. Disney's going down faster and faster. This movie been released in the 1900s, and it would have been forgotten as the worst disaster.
Well, okay, Ian, what about the controversy that this film has received online? It's clearly not coming from the young women it's marketed at. In fact, it seems to be coming from a male demographic.
Well, yeah. Well, I think it's interesting that there's been so much backlash where this is concerned, yet not really the same kind of backlash around the Barbie movie, which has certainly taken a different point of view. You know, most people who grew up with Barbie dolls, when you opened that package, it didn't immediately start speaking out against the patriarchy, right? Yet the Barbie movie we see today takes quite a feminist stance and a more inclusive stance than we've generally seen associated with the character. So, you know, this is Disney's intellectual property. They can do what they want with it. People are going to choose to spend their money on it or not. It's not really a matter of moral judgment. You know, entertainment and art is created to be received and appreciated by an audience. And this is commercial art. This isn't to hang in a museum. It's going to succeed or fail on that merit.
Rachel Zegler is doing more damage to Disney than anyone could have ever imagined. Now, before I end this video, let me share this to you guys. Go woke, end up broke. And gentlemen, that's it for today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and if you enjoy the content, don't forget to hit the thank you button. And gentlemen, I'm out of here.